and welcome to this tutorial. I'm Don from DxO, and today I want to share with you some workflow ideas for using PureRAW alongside nearly any image software. In this example, I'll work with Radiant Photo, but really you should be able to substitute your favorite image application. PureRAW is an extremely flexible tool, so of course there are different ways to work with it. And the first way I'd like to share is actually done without even launching the standalone application. You can just navigate within your operating system to the photos you want to work with, select one or more of them, and right-click. Now there is an extra step in Windows 11, but so long as you're right-clicking on RAW files, you should see some options to process with PureRAW 4. In this case, I'll choose the new DeepPRIME XD2, and then I'll choose my output based on what works best in the application. So for Radiant Photo, I would generally choose JPEG or TIFF. PureRAW will set to work. When the processing is complete, just open your optimized files inside the application. And now you're ready to continue your editing. Another workflow you can use is to launch PureRAW as a standalone application. This will give you access to the queuing system, to live preview, to batch renaming, and give you more control over the settings, including the new DeepPRIME XD2. So I've got PureRAW open, and I'll just load some images into the lightbox. Next, I need to select one or more images that I want to process in this batch, and come down here to Process. Now there is a separate tutorial on all of these process options. For now, I'll just come down here to Output and have a look at those settings. Now I know that I'd like to have JPEG output, and you can see here that that is selected. You can also see that for JPEG, I can turn on smart lighting, so I'll leave that as it is. Just going to scroll down to the export area. If I drop down the application list, you can see that Radiant Photo has already been added. In fact, I have added most of the items that are in this list, and only Adobe Lightroom Classic and Adobe Photoshop show up automatically if you have those installed. In order to add a new application, you just come down here to Select Software. If I clicked on that, it would open up a dialog where I can navigate to and find the application that I'm looking for. The other thing I'll just quickly mention is don't export after processing. Sometimes you might choose that here, and I'll show you a little tip about that in just a minute. But for now, I'll come down here to Radiant Photo. First, click Apply, and then come over here to Process Now. Once processing is complete, PureRAW will hand the files over to your software of choice. Of course, in my example, that's Radiant Photo, where I can now continue my editing. Now, I mentioned before that sometimes you might choose Don't Export After Processing, and if that's the case, you'll come back here to the lightbox. But you can still send this optimized file to an application. Just come to a processed image, right-click, and choose Export to Application. Now again, I could be working with nearly any image processor, but in my example, I'll choose Radiant Photo and click Export. And once again, PureRAW hands the optimized file over to the application, and now you're ready to continue your editing in your favorite photo editor. If you have any questions, please visit our website, DxO.com. Thanks for watching.